It's a tad awkward. I've tried to make this video on several occasions, but every time I do, half the items never come in. Last time it was the boots, which, is kind of the most exciting part.
Smoke weed every day.
I did get the match ball, which I proceeded to test with my dad.
Oh, see you later.
If you couldn't tell based on my upload schedule, I tend to be a little inconsistent. It might have taken me 3 months, but in May, I finally got down to business. We're gonna try to buy another entire kit this time. That's enough of that. We're gonna start with the boots. I would like to get the most ridiculous pair that I can. We'll get another jersey too. We'll go with Man United. Now I play the waiting game, I guess. So, the items I'd ordered were promptly packed up and shipped off, making the 7,500 mile journey from Putian, China to my home in just 2 weeks.
Yo!
No. Of the 8 items I ordered, 6 arrived. The good news is they're amazing. And by that, I mean terrible. On feet, we're rocking with the Kylian Mbappe Signature Superfly 7. They did come with this though, which helps keep the shape.
Hello everybody, this is my first YouTube video.
Sadly, our Man United kit never made it, much like their transfer targets. But we found a replacement in FC Barcelona. After an easy 6-month wait, everything we needed had finally made it. Yep, this is where I'm from. It's pretty. My place is across town. I'm about to discover just how powerful the Wish kit really is.
Use the Wish Kit.
Oh my god. It smells like shit.
There's just something magical about seeing it all together. It's a foggy Saturday morning. Woke up, chugged a coffee, and now I'm ready to hit some dingers.
If I don't pull a muscle today, I will be absolutely shocked. I'm gonna go for the double. That was so ugly, but first try.
Yo, no kidding. Boys. I got done filming like an hour ago, and I just had this feeling that I was forgetting something.
If I lost this footage, I don't know what I would do.
I think the first thing you have to do when analyzing fake products is compare it to the real. If you were to pick up the real version of these products, which I did for the video, you'd be looking at around $585. The fake, only $77, meaning they cost roughly 13% of the price. Going forward, it's definitely important to take that into consideration. We're going to start things off from the bottom up with the match ball. We picked this guy up for $24 back in, I think, December. The real version retails at $165, meaning that the fake is 14% of the price. The first couple times I actually used the product, I was really impressed. When I compared it with the official match ball, it was honestly hard for me to tell any differences while playing. Then I remembered one of the key differences between official match balls and the lower end ones is that the real one's thermally bonded, meaning it doesn't take up any water. This prompted me to conduct a little experiment. First of all, I deflated both of the balls. Then I weighed them. As you can see, it's really close. I went outside and got a bucket, filled it up with water, and put the balls in. I gotta say, I thought that deflating them would make them sink. I was wrong. Then it was time to wait for about an hour. I then took out both the balls, carefully dried them off, shaved them, and reweighed them. The difference in the weight would point to how much water each of the balls absorbed. Using math my 5th grade teacher would be proud of, I then calculated out the percent gain. The real ball went up 0.11 ounces, very little, equaling out to roughly 0.7% weight gain. The fake ball gained almost an entire ounce, which when you divided it out was 5.5% heavier after we put it in the water. Does the thermal bonding justify a $141 price increase? I would say no. This is the biggest price difference in all the products. If you want to pick up the real Mercurial Superfly 7, you're looking at around $300. The fakes, only $27, meaning it's less than 10% of the retail price. Is it 10% is good? Let's begin with the visuals, because before you ever play in these things, you're gonna look at them. The real Superfly 7 has the Nike tick on the outside of the shoe. Now obviously the pair that this models is the Mbappe colorway, which was one of my favorite boot drops of 2020. The fakes can't use the licensing of Nike, so what they tend to do is put it on the side, so yeah, from here it looks real. On the collar you have Mnik, and then on the tick you've got Ike or Ike? I don't really know. One of the major design elements on the Superfly is the collar, which is meant to lock your foot in place. The Mnik collar has seen better days. It looks like it's gone on one too many Tinder dates. And that sort of quality is consistent throughout the entire shoe. I actually sat down with the head designers of the Mercurial back when this boot launched, and they had this to say.
What you see here is actually some of the very, very early, let's say, ideation that designers are actually going through.
To be honest, we've been working on this one way before we launched the previous one. This was at least a 24-month cycle, especially to crack down on how to make a softer Flyknit. That took a lot of time and testing hours to nail it and end up with something that feels soft and yet, strong enough to contain the player's foot.
There is so much tech that goes into the Mercurial, years of hard work, and a lot of money spent in design. Because of that, it's not really fair to even compare these two shoes. The only similarity I would say is the silhouette. It looks vaguely like a Mercurial. One of the biggest problems I have with these is the sole plate. Stud placement is pretty much the same, but man, the plastic they use is very cheap. Like, I can literally take these and just bend it straight in half so easily, which you can't do on an authentic pair. Because of that general clunkiness, there is some differences in weight as well. The Mniks are just over 8 ounces, and the real ones are just about 7. Taking all that into consideration, do I recommend the Mnik? No, I don't. I'm not a big fan of shin guards.
To this day, I actually don't use them when I play typically. This pair was made to resemble the Mercurial Light, which retails at 35 bucks. Before I actually took a look at these things, I was thinking, it's just a piece of plastic. You can't really screw up a shin guard. These are awful.
Boys.
The plastic that they used is just so cheap, and I can literally fold these things in half with like little to no pressure. The back, this is made to kind of like lock it to your leg. It's a really cheap rubber, and if you wanted to... It's a bit of a different story with our other pair though. These ones only cost $4, and they're supposed to resemble the older Mercurial Light guards, which I believe retailed at $26. The plastic they used in these ones is pretty cheap, but it's of a much higher quality than the other pair. I think my main concern with these heading into it was the foam on the back. I kind of thought as it gets wet, maybe it's going to peel away, so I decided to conduct another experiment. Let's take a peek at the back foam on our soggy guard. Yeah, it actually came off easier than I expected. A real FC Barcelona jersey will run you around 90 bucks. If you want to get a number on the back, it's going to be around 115, and if you get an authentic one, you're looking at about $200. By comparison, our fake one only cost $20. Straight out the gate, I gotta say, I think football kits are very, very overpriced. $90 for a glorified t-shirt it's just too much for me. According to both the tags, these are actually made of the same material, 100% polyester. It's quite possible the fake one's lying, but in hand, it does feel pretty similar. I will say Nike's is more substantial. I actually weighed them to see, and there's about a half an ounce difference, which really is meaningless. I probably didn't have to do that, and it's probably attributed to the patches. But it's a nice segue to our next point, the patches. So the fake kit has none of them. The real one has several. You got La Liga, logo, Nike. As we saw with the boots, these companies don't use the branding, except it was kind of peculiar. On the back of the jersey, the numbers, you actually have the FCB logo, which is weird because why wouldn't they put the patch if they're gonna... Fake kits, especially ones with printed numbers, tend to have one fatal weakness. Typically, the print on these things like cracks and comes off pretty quickly. To test this out, I threw them in the wash for a few cycles and then obviously dried them for a few cycles. There does seem to be a little bit of heat damage when you look at it next to the unwashed one, but it's not that bad. Typically, it takes more than 2 wash cycles to get these things to crack, but I thought I'd throw it in just to see, and I also had to do my laundry. Overall, though, I was pretty impressed with the fake jersey. If you don't care about the way it looks, which you really shouldn't, it's a pretty decent product for the price. I want to pass the question on to you. What do you guys think? I've kind of changed my stance on fake products recently. I used to be more opposed to them, but now as I live on my own and expenses add up, I get it. At its core, they function pretty similarly. The only one that I really wouldn't recommend is, well, A, those shin guards were terrible, and the boots.
Hi there, I'm lukegerr, host of this fine... Sorry?
Share.
Oh, crap. Host of this fine YouTube channel. If you've made it all the way to the end of the video, first of all, thank you. If you want to see more inconsistently uploaded soccer content, I'm your guy. Hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I love you. Bye.